Right before the Lok Sabha elections, BJP has released the CAA notifications. We are standing in Freedom Park right now and we can see a very hard protest going on over here, where the protesters belongs to different political parties and are social activists as well. We can see them protesting against the CAA notification. This is the very first protest happening in Bangalore against the CAA notifications. We are here to know their opinions and demands against the CAA notifications that has been released by BJP. Now we would like to know the opinions and demands of the protesters over here. So, ma'am, what according to you CAA actually is?
See, CAA is an attempt to provide, for the first time, speaking of citizenships in terms of religion, something that is absolutely unacceptable and is unconstitutional. Our constitution, right from the beginning, has been very clear of the secular character of it. There is no relationship between religion and citizenship in our country, and this is an attempt by the BJP government, by the RSS, by the Sangh Parivar to bring about religion in this. This is part of their larger agenda to make to what they speak of as a Hindu Rashtra, and that is what we have to see this as. And of course, this has been very strongly resisted, and so much so that they were not able to bring it in. And now, very surreptitiously, very suddenly, they have brought it in, and we are here to say that under no circumstances we will accept it.
What are the principal demands of this protest?
See, one, the amendment that has been notified, that is something that has to be immediately withdrawn. And our main demand is that, the main point that is of the protest is that people of this country will not accept any form of division on the basis of religion, will not allow for the values of the constitution to be destroyed, will not allow the values of the constitution to be damaged in any way whatsoever, and most importantly that we will stand against the RSS, against the Sangh Parivar in all its attempt. The Sangh Parivar and the RSS is against any form of equality, whether it believes in inequality on the basis of caste, it believes in inequality on the basis of religion, it believes in inequality on the basis of gender. That is something that we will not accept and we will not allow for in this country. It is obvious that this notification, see, the only thing that the BJP government is saying is religion, is Hindutva, is nothing else. Look at where we stand economically, it has failed. Look at where we stand on poverty. There has been an increase in poverty. Look at unemployment, it has increased. Look at income, it has decreased. You have 1% of the population, your Ambanis, your Adanis, who are making so much, whereas the rest of the people are making, there's such a fall in income. So in all of this, the only thing they have to say is Hindutva, and this has to be seen as only as part of that.
Ma'am, what are your demands and why are you guys protesting over here?
So there are two principal demands. One is that the CAA notification should be revoked immediately. And the second is we condemn the fact that a police personnel attacked Muslim namazis in Delhi last week. So these are our two principal demands.
What is the main reason behind the CAA protest?
So the main reason is that this act itself is an extremely discriminatory act. It creates differences in the way the state treats its own people on the basis of religion, which in itself is anti-constitutional and even anti-human as well. So that is why we are gathered here today to protest this act.
Do you think you are able to practice your democracy in this country now?
Depends. If you are Adani or Ambani, of course your democracy will be uphill in the sense that you can buy any port you want, any airport you want, you can buy off any land you want, you can mine anywhere you want, you can evict people wherever you want. But if you belong to, say, an Adivasi community, a Dalit community, a Muslim community, a Christian community, any religious minority community, if you belong to a different gender, then your democracy won't be upheld by this Sarkar.
Thank you so much. So, what according to you CAA is?
I think CAA is a selection criteria which basically says or justifies that X person belongs or is a citizen of India and next person is not. It's like a qualifier that has been put by the government in power right now, just to streamline the population into becoming what they really want, a Hindu Rashtra. Their aim is to slowly chip away all the rights, all the citizenship of Indians. I mean, paper, citizenship is just paper, right? If you see in Gujarat, there are 2002 victims of 2002 riots whose papers have been burnt. They're Indian Muslims, they've always been citizens of India. They can no longer prove the citizenship, right? So what's going to happen? What's the emphasis? Like, an Indian Muslim no longer has any grounds to prove that he is an Indian. And so what? I mean, in 10, 20 years, we can expect that we are no longer allowed to stay in India. It's just a another step in the process of ghettoization of Indian Muslims, of separating them away from the mainstream population, of saying that every other religion, forget, even Christianity, Buddhism, Jains from other countries are allowed, but an Indian Muslim cannot claim citizenship. So you can see how it is just an exclusionary policy just made to further divide us. So and again, I hate to bring it up, but it's also very distractionary. At this moment, it's been released just so the farmers are protesting, as are the electoral bonds issue is going on. So it's just a distraction. It's just another another ploy by the BJP government to divide us and to ensure that India continues to be a fascist Hindu Rashtra. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Also, this whole thing, the CAA notification, has been released just before the elections. What do you think about that? What are your opinions on that?
Like I said, it is nothing but, BJP identifies, it's all about identity politics, right? So they've divided it into Muslims versus everybody else in the country. So only Muslims, I feel like, at the core, like the majority of people who are protesting in CAA are the people whose rights are affected by it, which are Muslims. And versus that are people who are apathetic to it, which is the rest of the country, right? So BJP is effectively doing that. It's distracting from the real issues that are on point, instead bringing up this question of citizenship. And when people are distracted in that, obviously their campaign goes ahead as far. The CAA is just another thing they can say that, oh my God, we have ensured the citizens of so many other countries are providing refugee status. We've been amazing, right? That's what they're. But then again, it's again cementing their Hindu nationalist voter base. Just an election fight. There's no other thing. It's just they don't care about Indians. They don't care about who gets Indian citizenship or not. All they care about is Hindu Rashtra, and it's ensuring that other communities, especially Muslims currently, and soon it'll be other communities as well, are excluded.
What are the other difficulties you're facing?
As an Indian Muslim, would you say that? Well, I'll just give an example of the last 3 months since 22nd January, I think, when the Ayodhya Mandir was inaugurated. Since then, I'm in a very sheltered position. I'm an upper class, woman working in a corporate job. I'm privileged, right? And I don't see a lot of these problems that these, like people who are not as fortunate as me do. But even in my privileged position, I did not feel safe walking in the road because everything was saffron, right? I can't talk about my rights. I can't, because people are coming at me and saying, we're happy. Hindus said that they're happy, right? And anything that we did was said anti-national. Okay, so even speaking up about how I don't feel safe when Hindus can say that don't wear burqa because you don't make me feel safe, but I can't say that don't wave a saffron flag in my face or don't have it in public areas because I don't feel safe. Yeah, so this is a small example of how politicized the country has become. I have lost so many friends over the last 4 years just over this, because BJP has made it all about identity. So you identify with the party means that you are a good Hindu. If you don't identify with the party, you're anti-nationalist, you're not a Hindu, right? So that's how they're dividing all of us, even at our level, at every level. We're divided. We are no longer the country that we are, the secular, intersectional country that we are. So, that is the impact over the last 8 years since BJP came. Even before that, last 4 years it's worsened. And, obviously this year, election year, it's going to be worse than ever. And really tough.
What, according to you, the main issues that should be concerning rather than these issues?
Well, I'll give another example. In the Israel-Palestine war is going on, right? In Haryana, they have posters asking for about tens of thousands. They're opening the employment, right? Tens of thousands of Indians are lining up to go to a country where a genocide is happening. That is, actually causing a genocide just because they don't have jobs in the country, right? And if you see the posters, also another high point, it's only Hindus who can apply for those positions. But that is beside the point. That's just a small light. Unemployment is so incredibly high in this country. Unemployed people, what do? They get paid to go attend election rallies. Right? It's just another, tool in their weapon cache. You can say the BJP's. Another problem, you can just say women's safety. A small issue, like something that nobody talks about when elections come, right? But it's an issue that affects half of India's population. Nobody cares about that. Farmers protesting, they're not even getting the minimum support price. Meanwhile, I don't know, Ambani had his 3-day pre-wedding festival and he spent around, I calculated the numbers, it's about 1 billion times what a farmer can afford to earn in a year. So you can imagine like the amount of corporate fascist greed that the country has become, and that's only concentrating on problems that affect the top 1%, and does not look, nobody here, even people who vote for BJP, everyone, nobody is happy. Even the people who are voting for BJP are not happy. Their issues are not being resolved. They're being distracted because of politics. So, I mean, there's a lot of problems. I can't list all of them for you right now, but it's just a diversionary tactic for
Do you call these notifications a political propaganda or agenda?
obviously it is political. It has been, I mean, you can just see the timing. It is 2024, it's just before. 4 years, why were they silent? This came back in 2020, right? After that, nothing happened. This happened right now. Electoral bond just happened, right? They wanted to start farmers' protests happening. Convenient time to release CAA. Nobody's talking about farmers' protests. This protest is not about farmers' protests, are we? That's forgotten, right? So it's just everyone's going to be talking about, Hindu versus Muslim. Hindu become, okay, we'll get, politicized towards BJP. We have to vote BJP because any other party is going to support Muslims. Why should we support any party that supports Muslims? Obviously, it's just division. It's just propaganda. It's political propaganda. Nothing else.
Thank you so much. So we right now witness different opinions of the protesters protesting over here in Freedom Park, Bangalore. We would like to know your point of view and your opinions in the comments down below. Do like, share and subscribe to Daily Salar Digital.